A young railroad engineer who survived a catastrophic train crash when a mystical ancient green meteorite fell to Earth. The meteorite guided him to forge a magical ring and lantern, making his powers deeply magical. And a man who was a test pilot. When he was summoned by a dying alien, a peacekeeper named Abin Sur, whose power ring chose him because of his ability to overcome great fear. Both of these men, Alan Scott and Hal Jordan, would become known as the Green Lantern. And both of them together were our MVPs for the last month's edition of JLA versus Avengers. Will Green Lantern be triumphant again tonight? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to JLA versus Avengers. I'm Ryan Magic Lasso with my special guest host, John's Comics with Friends. How are you?
I'm doing swell. I do not see a Hal Jordan repeat tonight.
You don't? Okay. I know Alan Scott's not going to probably get that because he's not in the book tonight.
No appearance.
Yes, but he's the first JSA to get a...
He was. Congrats to him for that.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Well, welcome. Here's our monthly show where we're going to go back to the Silver Age tonight in several different categories, and we're going to give our thoughts on these different categories and ask for your opinion based on what we provide and share with you today in this episode of JLA versus Avengers. It's issue 23 from Justice League of America Volume 1 and issue 23 from Avengers Volume 1. Before the stream is over with, we'll find out together who had the better issue number 23. I'll start out by saying hello to a few comments that have shown up in our live chat. If you're watching on the rewind, thank you so much for being here for tonight's stream and watching. John's Comics with Friends doing double duty, also showing up in the chat saying hello. And then White Tiger Cool Calm Collected is saying Muabunga to all of us. So hope that you're doing well too. And it's great to have you joining us tonight for the show. So John, let's talk first about, since we both own copies of this book, I want to say hi to Old Wolfie. How you doing, Old Wolfie, who has stopped in as well. Your copy of Avengers number 23, any memories on adding that copy into your collection?
Yeah, I got this in San Diego Comic-Con about a year ago, actually. It was just last summer. And it was not a book I was really actively going after. I knew I kind of wanted to get the first 25, and I was like, oh, I don't have this issue. And I didn't realize what a popular key this has become because of Ravonna, Renslayer, who has, made her appearance in the MCU and has gotten a little bit of notoriety. So this book is a key as a result of that. So the price on this book can be a roller coaster. But I did snag it last summer. It is a low grade copy. Definitely got some chipping, some folding, whatever on the cover, some spine ticking, all that good stuff. But it's mine. It is my glorious copy.
Nice. My copy came into my collection as an AOK from Comic Food 2814, who is a furry. And he sent this my way. And I think he had duplicates of this because he was picking up some early Justice Leagues as well. And I think he had a dupe of this. And he knew I was working on it and wanted to help me out. So he sent it my way, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yes. Let's start talking about the covers a little bit more in depth. And we'll start with the Justice League of America comic book. So what are your initial thoughts, John, looking at the cover for Justice League of America 23?
It looks like our queen's head is on wrong.
Okay.
It's just, it bothers me. The angle that her head is turned at bugs me. And that's it. Every time I glance at this cover, it's the first thing I see is like, why is her head screwed on wrong? The thing that I found on re-looking at it again and again is I love how transparent her wings are. I love that we can read the title of the comic through her wings. That part I can't get enough of. And every time once I saw that, I kept going back and studying the way that they do it. It's really a cool effect. And yeah, that looks awesome. I do think the little hive behind her is a little bit too much. Like it takes up a lot of space, and yet at the same time, it still just looks like a pineapple, like we're under the sea with SpongeBob. So I
Okay.
don't think it's both too much and not enough, in that I can't tell what it's supposed to be just right off the top of my head. But I also feel like it's overwhelming the space. So it's an interesting oddity, the way the background is done. What about you?
Okay. So for me, I like a colorful cover, and this definitely delivers as a colorful cover. I didn't really so much notice what you said about her face until you pointed it out. Now I probably won't ever unsee it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I like Queen Bee overall as a villain. I think she's fun. This is her first appearance. It's interesting that this cover is taken from a very small panel inside of the book.
Yeah.
Like, it's not taken from a splash. It's not, the panel that they take this from is a very tiny, horizontal panel at the top of a page. So that's kind of interesting to see that being chose. But I think it's effective, and it is the story. That's what they did back then. The cover, for the most part, was accurate to what you're going to find inside the story. So I like it. I like it for the reasons that I mentioned. I don't know, now that you mentioned her face, it is a little off, but that's about the only thing I don't like about this cover.
We got some chaos in the chat.
Chaos. How are you doing, Chaos?
What's up, Chris?
So let's turn over and look at your Avengers cover and then decide who has the better cover.
I will say, I love this cover. I love the color work, the way that Kang is in this like unusual red orange light. I love the background with the outer space. I love that he is giant and sort of looming over them. I love that there's only 3 words besides the title on this cover.
Yeah,
I think all of it, the perspective, for me, this is one of, I think, the top 3 covers we've had for Avengers for me. I waited to buy it because it was expensive, but I'm glad I have a copy. I love the hands reaching out towards us. This is a top flight cover from this era for me. What do you think?
Yeah. So for me, this is definitely one of the bigger memorable Avengers covers. One thing that you didn't mention that I love is the coloring. Even on your copy there, the coloring is really good on that. I like how the Avengers are reacting to Kang on the cover. Captain America's like, what are we going to do? And Scarlet Witch is like, look, this is what we have to deal with. And Hawkeye's like, I'll just shoot him with my bow.
I mean, what else? Hawkeye's got one move, right?
Yeah. And I think Quicksilver's dancing. But other than that, I agree with you. I like that there's less wordage on the cover because sometimes they get a little bit too wordy on there.
This is true.
But overall, the coloring is my favorite thing about that cover. I think it's more iconic than the Justice League cover. But I think this is a tough category, actually, because I think both covers are pretty decent.
I don't dislike either cover, but I don't think it's a contest for me. There's no question that this is one of the best covers I think we've had on this program, and I just really love it. And to your point, the orange yellow of Kang. You said you like a good colorful cover. This one definitely has some great energy to the color work, and then. You can't see it as well on mine, but the blues and the dark purples in the sky here in the background behind him in that outer space drawing really pop and create a real fun effect up there.
You guys can start voting in the chat who you thought has the better cover. And keep yours up for a second there. The one thing that's interesting when we talk the coloring on this, your cover has such the deep covers and my cover has the lighter.
Yes.
And maybe that's just a day and night type difference of the thing, but I don't know. Wolfie's saying the Avengers.
I'm with you, Wolfie. I mean, I don't think it's a much of a competition. I don't hate the Justice League cover. It's just it's more in the middle of the Justice League covers we've had on this show, and I like this one even better than the first appearance of Kang. This is a better cover than that first appearance of Kang.
I think that probably gets mistaken for his first appearance because it's a better
I bet.
cover.
I bet his
It's kind of like
first
with
cover appearance is a little bland.
It's kind of like with Medusa from the Inhumans. Most people think that
Mm.
Spider-Man cover is her first appearance because it's so good when she actually debuted in a Fantastic Four issue.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with, I knew this was going to be a tough category for me.
Go with your heart, man.
I think it's Avengers.
Okay.
I think it is. I do like the Justice League one, but I think it's Avengers. Okay.
Well, there you go.
There we go. So the cover has been decided. Now we're going to talk about the story. So I will recap our Justice League story first.
Let me slide my microphone over here.
Yeah. Oh, didn't want that. Okay, let me pull up my issue. So we don't expect you guys to have read both of these issues, but we'll give you a brief synopsis of them, and then you can decide based on our synopsis, if you haven't read them, who had the better issue. So drones of the Queen Bee, and we find out that the Queen Bee is going to control the Justice League to do her bidding, or Earth will perish. So in our first part, above the Tower of Jewels, these bee men show up, and there really isn't a way to stop them. But we find out at the same time at the Hall of Science and Invention in Midland Metropolis, same thing is happening. These bee creatures are showing up, and they can't be stopped. And then at another location, in a library, I thought this was kind of cool. All the printed letters from the hard covers expanded and pinned some of these people up against the wall. And it's by these bee men, and they can't be stopped. So at the bottom of that page, we see that it's time for a meeting of the Justice League of America. Snapper shows up, and he sees a cake there. And this is how he inquires about the cake.
I'm so glad you read this.
He's saying, like, I'm a tardy card today, and hey, what's the gay day that we have a flower tower to celebrate it? That means, why do we have a cake?
Yeah. I'm glad you, I had to read that bit like 4 times. I'm a tardy card today. Hey, what's the gay day that we have a flower tower to celebrate it? I was like, I'm very lost.
So they are celebrating him passing his exams, which he took while the JLA JSA crossover was going on in the previous 2 issues. And he's touched and moved that he's been remembered. He's a little choked up. So he gets congratulation telegrams from Aquaman, Batman, and Superman, who are not there at the moment, but no one's heard from the Atom. All of a sudden on the radio comes the report that the Winged Bee Men are attacking the Tower of Jewels, the Hall of Science and Invention, and the National Library. And they're like, well, we're going to have to go and check this out. Snapper's going to have to stay, Daddy-O, and eat some cake and find out what's going to happen with the team. So as typical, the team splits off and they head into different directions. We look at the Tower of Jewels, where Martian Manhunter hurtles through the big hole in the wall into the building. And there is this jewel that's hanging on top. And at first, he doesn't think much of it, but the jewel pours a crimson tide of heat, igniting the edge of the hole so that the ruby casts out a fire-hot glow. And, you know, fire is his weakness. So that's not going to be good for him. Which is something if I knew, I forgot about, that he can emulate the powers of other people. So he's emulating Flash's stretching friend, the Elongated Man. And this is the first of a science lesson you're going to get in this issue. So he stretches his hands out and he grabs these opals, which are a form of hydrated silica, and their water content is almost 20%. So he hurls them up into the air with his remaining strength. He will cause them to meet, and the water content will form rain. So that's going to put out the fire and help him regain his strength. So he decides to use the suction in the air to pull the bee creatures back to him. And he begins to do that when all of a sudden they just disappear out of existence. He's able to catch the jewels that fell from the Tower of Jewels that they stole, and we see that he is being watched from a faraway alien viewing screen in outer space. Now, over at the Hall of Science and Invention, the Flash shows up, and he's wondering what could have happened to these guards. So, because they're all passed out, and he notices when he's going after the bee men that he sees, he's intending to run towards them, but he's running after them. He's running in the opposite direction. Wonder Woman is there with him, and she goes to throw her lasso at them, and it goes in the wrong direction. Well, they quickly realize that it's the reverse of what their brain has to say. So he's like, Wonder Woman, give your orders in reverse. So she does, and she's able to whisk him up in the lasso, twirl him around the opposite way that she intended him to go, so he ends up going the way that he could go. And he goes up to grab a hold of these bee creatures, when all of a sudden, he's able to get a hold of what they stole, but the bee creatures kind of disappear. So Flash has to use his arms and propel them super fast as Wonder Woman glides on the air currents, and the bee creatures have disappeared, but they do have the loot that they intended to steal. So again, out in space, this has been watched inside a giant beehive-like spaceship. And this lady that we see, who we'll be introduced to in a moment, she's like, I have plans for these super beings, even though my bee men have let me down. Over at the National Library, Green Lantern and Green Arrow show up. They find the bee men still on site. And Green Lantern starts to suck up all of those giant letters that were taken out of the books, except for the yellow ones, of course, because his power ring doesn't work against yellow. But in the case of the yellow ones, Green Arrow is using his arrows to knock them out of the way. So the bee men start to take off out of the window, and Green Lantern says, let's go after them. So they do, but once again, no surprise, they just disappear. And as they disappear, Green Arrow and Green Lantern are able to get the loot that they stole. Next thing you know, we see Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Flash, and soon to be Green Lantern and Green Arrow. They're all showing up against their will with these items that were originally stolen by the bee people. So Zazala, the queen bee from the planet Korll, has now landed on Earth in her bee-type hive ship. And she is controlling the Justice League's body, and she has commanded them to bring this loot to her. And they're realizing that they're doing it, against their free will, but they can't stop the control. And there on the top on the next page is where we got our cover from. And as they're inside the ship, she tells them she will cancel out the radiation that she's placed in their bodies, by which she commands them to go wherever she directs, when the JLA go to the destination that she wants and gets what she needs. And if they don't do it, she's planted something that's going to destroy Earth. So really, there's no choice to it. So as we kick off the second part of the story, Martian Manhunter does confirm that there is a machine down there that she mentally commands that she can make explode, which will be catastrophic to the Earth. So they're like, we have no choice. We have to help her. So the Hive spaceship is propelled back into space moments later by anti-discovery devices, hurtles outward into the space towards a star sun. And she says, now, my drone workers, I shall brief you on your mission. And we get the backstory. Many centuries ago, a bee-man genius lived on her home planet of Korll. And he was able to come up with a formula for longevity and mortality. And he's like, I'm too old to take okay, he's like, I'm too old to take this, but someone young and strong has to be able to do this. And to prove that they're young and strong, I'm going to break up the three parts that they need and hide them in places with some specific guards in place. So you have not just anyone could get a hold of this. You would have to be the youngest and the strongest to get them. So the Queen Bee says to them, you're going to get them for me. I'm young and strong. I'm going to take this. I'm going to become, one of the strongest people in the entire universe. And if you don't, I'm going to blow up your planet that you come from. And they realize that, by securing these 3 vials for her, they're going to unleash terrible menace on the universe, but they don't have a choice. So Martian Manhunter says, let's keep the same teams that we kept before. Okay. And they head out to retrieve what they need to for the Queen Bee as we begin chapter 3. So they've kind of located, when they've been transported to this planet that these are on, where at in the planet these 3 items are. So Martian Manhunter says, well, all I have to do is get inside that mountain to lay my hands on one of the immortality vials. But when he gets close enough, the volcano is active and it's spewing out lava and fumes. Of course, it's fire. He can't deal with that. It's his weakness. Flash and Wonder Woman land, and she's like, well, I could use my magic lasso to seize the vial that they see inside of these plants. But all of a sudden, it kind of becomes like a tug of war, and they realize there's this almost glue-like sticky serum, which can keep them trapped. And even going overhead, Ariel isn't going to be able to get them access to the vial that they need. And then finally, in the polar regions of Somalar, which is the planet that these vials have been hidden on, the 2 greens, Lantern and Arrow, come upon a mighty glacier. And the closer they get to the glacier, the more the glacier keeps moving. And they're like, well, this isn't going to be as easy as we thought. So now that we know the predicament that they're in, we cut back and forth between the heroes. So Martian Manhunter uses his frigid breath to turn the river waters to solid cool, bringing that over top to dump on top of the active volcano, cooling it down. He gets inside, and there's a monster in there that's going to protect the vial. So, and the monster's like, other people have tried before, and I destroyed them. You're too cowardly. And he's like, he uses his science again. This is a very science issue. Lava consists of molten rock, and he lists all the other things. And surely one of those can give me an idea how to handle this menace. And of course, he comes up with it. So he uses the great beds of this Lord Stone, which is a magnetic iron core, to make the lava creature vulnerable to magnetism. So the lava creature ends up being magnetically kind of stuck to this, while he's able to go in and get the vial that he needs. So secondly, with Flash and Wonder Woman, she starts whirling him around again using the magic lasso. And they figure out that if he doesn't stay in a solid form, if he, like how he can phase through something solid, if he stays in that form, he can get into the vial because he's not being triggered by the automatic defenses that are around it. So that's how he's able to get in, not get stuck in some of the sticky substance, grab the vial, and come out. Now, over with Green Lantern and Green Arrow, they figure out, well, this thing keeps moving, so let's set it up kind of like a checkers board and see the pattern that it makes. They're able to do that, and they're able to deduce where this glacier is going to move, so they get there before the glacier does. And since they're already there when the glacier arrives, they're able to get the vial and bring it back to Queen Bee. So they all end up back to Queen Bee, and she says, okay, you got what I needed. I'm going to be this hugely powerful person. I have no use for you anymore. I'm sending you back to your planet. As they start to send them back, Superman, Aquaman, and Batman make their cameo appearance in the issue. And they're like, we have to tell them about our mission, now that they tracked us down. So they all regroup and they catch up. And Superman says, we need to go back and battle with her. And then Flash says, not necessarily. Right now, I can picture Queen Zazala regretting the day that she ever saw us. So she can't open the vials. She's got the vials that she needs, but she can't open them. And then Martian Manhunter explains, when we all met on Somalar before we took the vials to the Queen Bee, Green Lantern coated the vials with an invisible, impenetrable aura from his power ring after I had used super pressure to weld the metal snappers to the vials so they couldn't be easily opened. So now that they're back in the secret sanctuary, Adam has arrived, and the moment we landed on Earth, our body radiations faded out and the machine in the middle of the Earth stopped pulsating. So the Earth is safe from Zazala, and I've taken precautions that the Queen Bee can never threaten us that way again. And Adam's there, and they say, hey, we want to hear about what you've been doing since you weren't part of this adventure. And he basically talks about what happened in Adam issue number 8, which is the second appearance of Dr. Light. And they say, well, let's get back to eating our cake. We got a triple celebration, you know, Snapper's passing the exams, the Justice League's triumph over Queen Bee, and Adam's overcoming Dr. Light. And that is how the issue wraps up. So let's say hi to some folks that have popped in during this recap.
Absolutely.
Matt H is here. So, hey, you're here now. That's what counts. Our friend David, Mark Spector Comics. Hi, Dave. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. It's always great to see you. And yeah, that's a good point against the Martian Manhunter. Yeah, the very colorful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The lava monster pages. Yeah, we'll get into that artwork.
It's a lava monster. And then our good friend Alan Shell is here. Alan had me on his new edition of Cover Lovers, which is Bronze Age Wonder Woman. So that's on his channel.
Why would he ask you to do that?
I don't know why he would. That's on his channel. There's also a link to that in the collaborations playlist folder on my channel. So John's going to give you a recap of the Avengers issue. Then we're going to ask you, based on a recap, so if you haven't read these two, who had the better issue.
Yeah, swap us around here, though. There you go. There you go. Yeah, we for those that don't remember, in the last issue, Captain America quit the Avengers, leaving the remaining 3 team members to kind of fend for themselves. So we catch up right where we left off. The team kind of arguing a little bit amongst themselves. You know, what do we do without Captain America? How is this going to impact our team going forward? You know, lots of questions from the team. So then they're basically trying to make these decisions and obviously having a lot of emotions. You know, even Scarlet Witch in tears at the prospect of not having Captain America around. We jump to where Steve Rogers has landed, and he's basically already fighting with people. He's trying to create a new life for himself. There's a training camp in upstate New York, and he is asking if he can come and train there and maybe train them up to a certain level. And right off the bat, he's like, oh, I can handle these guys. And of course, a fight promoter comes running up and says, hey, you guy, where are you going? I could use you in the ring to help train up my, you know, heavyweight boxers. That's what I need. So they send him into the ring, and he basically has to play cool with these guys, not totally beat them up, but just give them a chance to grow the skills, right? Because he could easily take them. But in the evenings, as you can see in that bottom corner panel, he's still thinking about the team, about what happened when he left, and having some regret, right? Having some thoughts on that. We jump to Kang the Conqueror, who we have seen plenty of times across these 23 issues, but he is back, and he is considering how he would like to defeat the Avengers once and for all, right? He's contemplating that he does need to pay them back for all the humiliating defeats. So he's trying to decide on the plan that will be the perfect one, and he's coming to Earth as he does in his ships, and nobody notices that his ship basically forms to be the top of a building, and he kind of lands on top of the Avengers Tower as if it had just grown another floor on top of it. The team's sensors go off, and they rush to the rescue, but there are traps, and right off the bat, Quicksilver has to rescue Hawkeye from getting caught in one of these traps. And the team works their way upstairs, only to find that, of course, they've fallen right into the trap, and all the technical devices of Kang the Conqueror come into play. There's a flash of light, explosions, and objects, you know, getting in their way. There's gas fumes sent over them, and a vaporizing ray, and all their abilities count for naught. And in the end, Kang captures all 3 of them in glorious fashion. And then he whisks them away because he has a time travel space dimensional ship that he is in. And he takes them off to this far off land. And when he lands there, he's confronted by a king in the funny green mask there, and his daughter. The king, by the way, I don't know that we ever actually get the king's name. Instead, it's just Princess Ravonna. Ravonna Renslayer is the female first appearance for this key. And Kang is wooing her. Kang is begging her, you got to marry me. I'm King the Conqueror. It's in my name. I'm the greatest ever. She's like not having it. She storms off, and he gives her 4 paragraphs of like, you're going to regret the day. Oh, you don't understand what you're throwing away here. Meanwhile, we jump to our man, Steve Rogers. He's doing well training these fighters, but then he hears on the radio, the Avengers may have met their doom. And he's like, I've got to jump at this opportunity to rescue them. So he knocks the guy out and then rushes off to go free his friends. The friends are in little jars. They've been captured in these little containers, and they can't seem to escape. Scarlet Witch, she uses her hexing powers and breaks her glass container, but it almost destroys her. Her power is at a very low place, but she's strong enough to at least free the other 2 by flipping a switch, and then the group of them run to get out of here. But of course, Kang shows up and lets them know, no, I've taken you deep into the far off future, and that's why you're not near your home. You have no chance of escaping. Well, Hawkeye fires some arrows, and they're going to climb their way out. But again, the master of technology, Kang has all these devices. He's reversing gravity on them. He is using a sort of air suction device and sucking them into this, like, it looks like an air filter to me. And Hawkeye throws one of his arrows through the filter, and it blows up the air suction device, the fan on the other side. Kang is, of course, very upset that his plan is being destroyed, and he tells his guards who are hunting them, don't worry, I'll take care of these guys on my own, leave them alone. And he pulls out one of his laser blaster, it's a spectrum inverter device, and he's able to capture both Wanda and Hawkeye with these beams, but doesn't capture Quicksilver. He's just too fast, and he's moving as fast as he can in and around this spaceship, this far off future place. And in the midst of all of this, Captain America's voice rings out. He says, you call yourself conqueror, I call you coward. I dare you. Your victory is meaningless unless you can defeat Captain America too. And he's got the Avengers recreator device, and he is basically demanding to be taken to wherever the rest of the team is located. Well, Ravonna hears this, and she's like, you sound like a kind of a wuss. Like, if you can't defeat this guy, why would I marry you? And Kang's like, well, I'll defeat this guy too. And he throws some switches and transfers Captain America across the same dimensional time divide, where he is reunited with Quicksilver, and they're both very happy to be together as a team. But the guards are there too, and this gives an opportunity for Cap and for Quicksilver to take out a bunch of these guys. The speed of Quicksilver, the fighting skills, and the throwing skills of Captain America are nothing to these bad guys. And finally, Kang is left saying, get out of here. You guys are the worst henchmen in the world. I can't believe I asked you guys to help me with this. I guess I've got to do that all myself. So he waits for Quicksilver and Cap to show up in his lair, his chambers, and he starts using his devices, his force screen and his shields, and he is basically just taking these guys out one after another. He even grows the shield so big it almost squishes Captain America underneath it. Captain America is just absolutely at a loss. Quicksilver, on the other time, he's moving so quickly that he's really giving Kang something to worry about. And Kang looks up and he sees Ravonna up there, and he's like, oh God, I can't screw up in front of her. So he uses his spectral wave device again, and he creates this sort of like fire energy that basically knocks Quicksilver down. And he's like, see, I did it. You have to marry me now. Like, there's no choice. And she's like, yeah, but you didn't defeat all of them because there's still a couple more of them running around. Meanwhile, outside the city, all the army of Kang is ready to take over this city if she doesn't marry him. So she's looking to her dad, and her dad's like, you may just need to take one for the team here. You may need to just marry this guy, royalty doing what royalty's got to do. And then during all of this, an arrow comes flying at Kang the Conqueror. And Kang is like, oh my gosh, they're still alive. And Wanda's like, we're not going down that easily. And of course, this makes Ravonna very happy and Kang very angry. And Kang sends his troops in and he says, fine, I'm taking this city by force. Dun, dun, dun. And that's where we leave off as the armies are assaulting the city.
Okay. John and I are going to give our comments on both stories. While we're doing this, you start voting in the chat. Based, if you haven't read either one of these, based on what we shared with you, who do you think had the better story, Avengers or JLA? Start voting now. So where do you want to start?
Well, we just finished the Avengers story. I feel like we dive right in where we left off. It's fresh in our minds. You said you had a complaint, something you wanted to voice about the issue. What was it you wanted to say?
And it was in the writing too. It was very early on. I want to say it word for word. Maybe you can help me. It talks about Scarlet Witch being like the less powerful of all of them.
I don't know that I saw that. I know that she rescues them. Even the frail-looking beauty whom many consider to be the weakest Avenger makes a decision.
Yes. Really? Yep. Because to me, the weakest?
The guy with the bow and arrow is apparently not as weak.
Yeah. And then I thought it was interesting too that, and I shared this on Instagram, Scarlet Witch, how I missed this. She's talking about Captain America. How I missed the sight of him working out in our private gymnasium. So confident, so handsome. To me, he was every inch an Avenger.
Yep. He's definitely
somebody be liking them some Captain America.
I mean, respect.
So I don't know. I mean, the stories. I thought the story ended weird. I thought the story ended weird.
It ends very abruptly because it's like almost like part 1 of 2, right? I thought it's very Silver Age silliness. Like the villain is quite pathetic. Like Kang is very pathetic in this story. However, that entertained me, and I was laughing about how like he is basically the jilted boyfriend the whole way through. Like, I will make her love me. She's gonna love me. I'm gonna kidnap the Avengers to make her love me. I'm gonna kill them to make her love me, and I'm gonna destroy her castle to make her love me. Why don't you love me? So I was giggling at how kind of like pathetic Kang was all through the issue, but it didn't ruin my enjoyment. It kind of just made me laughing at him like find some enjoyment where it could easily be a farce, this issue, for certain.
So I thought the pacing was good until we got to the end, and then it just seemed to wrap up like way too fast. And
I also thought it strange that we never learned the name of the dad, the king of this city or this place. Like, he gets completely ignored. It's just about the princess.
Hi, Bobby.
It just seemed like a rush. Boggy. I felt like they kind of like were rushing over the elements of this city and the royalty and then the army that Kang is sending in to destroy it. Because it seemed like Kang's purpose was to get revenge on the Avengers. But it then turns into his purpose was to woo Ravonna, and I don't think that the killing of the Avengers is the thing that's going to do that. So he's very misguided. There's a lot of misguided villain decision making here.
And the dad too. He's like, well, maybe you just need to marry him.
Yeah. He's a winner, this guy.
Yeah. Let's turn over and keep on voting too. JLA or Avengers, the story.
I've got one vote so far. Tony voted Avengers, but I'm waiting for Matt, Bobby, Alan.
Matt voted JLA.
Did he? Okay.
He did. Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't see that. Oh, there it is. Sorry.
Yeah. So let's talk about the JLA story. What did you think of Zazala?
I think she's the best part of the book. I think she's great. I like her as a character a ton. I think she's very interesting and very creative design for a character. I don't know that I understand her logic any more than I understand Kang's. She sent her guys in to kidnap or to steal these random like jewels and items, but then she doesn't seem to want them. She really just wants the Justice League. And when she sees that her troops couldn't successfully steal these items, she steals the Justice League instead and plants a device in the middle of the Earth. But then the device just breaks on its own when they come back to Earth. Like it's a very flimsy villain plot, in the same way that Kang's plot line is a little goofy and a little flimsy. So, but I do like the concept of her being able to have these bee-like controlling her drone powers. I wish that had been the plot, where she's controlling them to make them do her dirty work. I would have enjoyed that a little bit more than asking them to do something for her. I think that doesn't work the same way. I like the concept of her being the queen bee. And when she forces them all to show up with the items at her hive, I was like, ooh, this is going to be a cool mind control story. But then they kind of throw that part out for the second half. And I don't know why. That didn't seem like a good choice to me.
So the biggest complaint on the Justice League was following some of the story. But even as simple as, and I'm going to repeat this, like, I'm a tardy card today, and hey, what's the gay day that we have a flower tower to celebrate it? He's asking, why do we have a cake? And that's how he says it. Now, granted, this is being read decades later out of the times, but still, you know?
Yeah, it's not written well. Like, I'm a tardy card today, and hey, what's the gay day that we have a flower tower to celebrate? Like, that's the best delivery I can give that dialogue.
Yes.
And then he says, oh, my tear ducts are up above the floor, the flood mark. I've got fingers on my throat, all choked up.
But I did think it was kind of cool in the story that the letters from the bindings of the book got enlarged and pinned the security guards up against the wall.
Yeah, that was
I thought that was creative, and that was kind of fun. And I like Queen Bee as a villain. I think that she's a fun villain. And is this JLA's first female villain? It might be.
I would trust you to know the answer to that.
I think it might be.
Yeah, he also says, I'm a stray cat again, but it's Dutiesville around here, and oh well, here's where I go ape with my chow choppers.
Chow choppers are teeth, I imagine.
I've heard them called pie biters. But yeah, it was definitely Snapper Carr in rare form.
So which are you voting for better story?
I think it's funny, you've commented a few times that we have an alignment that seems to happen where certain things occur in the same way in the same books. Here we've got two female characters coming in for the first time, both of them sort of in this sort of flimsy villain plot device kind of thing. And I would, and both of them royalty, right? We have a princess and a queen. So I thought this is the category that's most even tonight, as far as what I felt. The cover was a no-brainer for me. The interior art we'll talk about later is almost a no-brainer for me, but the story is fairly close. Like, I don't know that I feel like there's a runaway winner in this category. Ultimately, I will say I was more entertained by the Avengers story just because I was laughing at Kang, and it was giving me, especially the second time I read it, knowing what a sort of namby-pamby character he was in the issue, I gave him a silly voice in my head, and it made it even funnier to read the lines. So for me, in the end, I think I'm going to pick Avengers, but it's splitting hairs for me in this category. What about you?
This time I'm going with Justice League.
Okay.
And like I said, both stories, there isn't a runaway winner on either story. I just think overall, I just like the Justice League story a little bit more. So
I get it for sure.
Yeah. So
it's again, this is the narrowest margin of victory for me in these two categories.
So with
we seem to have a split still in the chat, right?
Let's see, Avengers, JLA, Avengers.
Oh, well, there are 2 Avengers? I didn't even see
there's
that. Oh,
2
Bobby
Avengers.
picked Avengers.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe
So it's
we've got
Avengers.
Avengers on the story one. Okay.
All right. So that's going to move us along to our next topic, the artwork. You want to talk about Justice League first?
Yeah.
Consistent again.
I love the design of the Queen. Queen Zazala.
Yeah. I guess she's
Zazala.
Yeah, Zazala.
I like her design. I love the it's not quite a beehive hairdo, but it is so big and so lustrous. I love the way she's acting like a Greek or Roman god. She's got like her bowl of fruit and her lounge chair. I think there's just something so wonderful about the design of her, and it made for a very entertaining story. Her little henchmen guys don't get much to do, and they're kind of gone pretty quickly. And they have all these cool gadgets that never seem to be more than just a quick gimmick.
Never seem to be more than a quick gimmick.
But I do love seeing them. There are you mentioned the visual of the letters popping off of the books being a very fun visual. My favorite art occurs on page 9. I don't know if it'll be page 9 in your on your device there. It's the Wonder Woman page, but it's the panel at the bottom with the Queen.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Absolutely love that right there, gang.
That is pretty cool.
It is phenomenal. I love the perspective of it. Of course, she's looking sexy or whatever laying there, but the fact that she's pointing her little wand at the viewer screen, controlling the team while she's got her bowl of fruit next to her, it was wonderful. I enjoyed it completely. So that one ranked at my highest for me. Okay. What about you?
I think the art is really, really good, throughout all of this. This isn't my favorite panel, but one that I really did enjoy is this one with Martian Manhunter and Queen Bee. I like that a lot.
And the chat mentioned the Martian Manhunter sequence when he's battling the monster in the volcano, or when he uses the lodestone and the magnetism. That creature has great color work.
Yeah,
that's page 20, and for mine, really great color work there. The creature, the smoke, the fire, like there's some really fun layers of color going on there.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter over the volcano, says Matt. It's probably at in part 1. Let's see here.
Right here.
It must have been that one with the lodestone. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably that one.
Yeah. As I look for my favorite panel, I think it's this middle panel with the close-up on Flash that goes down the entire page. I just kind of like that. That one.
What do you like about it?
I just like the close-up. I like the motion on it. I don't know. It's no background, but I still like it. That's the one that kind of I gravitated towards.
I get it. There's also a funny one when we got Snapper eating the cake where he's looking like he's gaining a lot of weight from eating the cake at the beginning. That just made me giggle. He's just stuffing his face on page 4.
Tower.
With his chow choppers.
Yeah. So let's look over at Avengers.
There are we've talked about Don Heck being able to draw faces so well that some of them feel like they're straight out of Golden Age romance books. The expressions are so strong, and there's just a ton of pictures that I really love. There's one where Scarlet Witch is crying. Oh, Kang, yeah. There's one where Scarlet Witch is crying on page 2 that I absolutely loved. It's just great dynamic energy.
My favorite panel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I ruined your favorite
No,
panel.
no,
right
you're
off the
fine.
bat. I will say, I said to Ryan before we went live, at what point did the Marvel team decide that Scarlet Witch should have some clothing that's red or red hair? Because the gray hair and fuchsia outfit doesn't really call Scarlet. Like, why is she the Scarlet Witch? What about her is Scarlet?
But it's still better than green.
It is better than the green costume for certain. My favorite's on the next page. It's on page 3.
Okay.
It's the bottom corner. Captain America looks out at the city lights
in the blue. Yeah.
In the blue. God dang, the coloring is so good in that.
Yeah,
I mean, look, it's like straight out of a Hardy Boys something. I mean, it's just really dynamic. The purples, the blues, the yellows. It's really, really great. But again, the faces. Don Heck draws these eyes and these faces so strong. There's just some great emotion happening on page 9.
Wait, let's
I've
look
got
at this one real
a better
quick,
Scarlet Witch drawing that I like. It's the upper right corner.
I want to show this one from page 6 real quick. Since
yeah,
I'm
go
here.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
So there's one when
9.
They're doing something with her eyes. These lines are going down on her eyes. Look at the sparkle. Like it's this wonderful, like you can see the hex power in her eyes. They add this little white line and like a star is happening right in her eyes. So good. I could talk about the boxing, obviously Cap fighting and the boxing is really great. The giant Captain America shield falling on them. I really, really love that. There's a few drawings. Where's the one? I'm going to make you go back and forth again and again. Page 4, if you don't mind going back to the beginning. Okay. With Kang looking at all the monitors. I absolutely love it. Like the detail work in that, all the monitors have a really great drawing in them. The colors, the background has got so many layers of drawing to it. It's really, really great. I know we used to give Kirby a little bit of drama for not using his backgrounds at all. That one is the opposite, for sure.
So do you think the princess looks too much like Scarlet Witch?
No, because Scarlet Witch doesn't have red hair. She's got this crazy
outside of that
gray bouffant thing going. No, because I mean she looks like Scarlet Witch should look and will look later. No, I did not have that issue at all. But mostly because I think that Scarlet Witch hasn't taken her true form yet. But her helmet is very similar in that it's like around her head and not like covering anything in the center, both of them.
Yeah.
Color work, very strong in this one. All the different guards and soldiers have these crazy, vibrant, almost Flash Gordon-y costumes. This
but I was going to say, even a sound
vibes.
Effects panel like this is really good.
Yeah. For sure. So if you get near the end when they show the guards, the soldiers, I don't know where that's like this page 18 or something.
This one?
Yeah, look at all the different colors for all the different soldiers in the army, and then the buildings that they're attacking all have different vibrant colors. There's just a lot of fun. I think the colorist probably had a blast or was exhausted by the end of doing this issue.
Yeah. Yeah, and even this final panel too. Look at the color work there.
Yeah.
That reminded me of like straight up G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I can totally see that.
So what are you picking for artwork?
For me, I don't think it's a contest. As much as I enjoyed the JLA, this is possibly one of my favorite Don Heck interior issues. I really do think he was pushing himself. The faces were strong. The colors and the designs in the background were strong. I loved all the Scarlet Witch close-up faces that I got. Some really great things going on. So I'm going Avengers on this one.
I think I'm going JLA just because they keep reinventing the poses and the stuff. Doesn't feel like that panel was just taken from a previous issue because it's the exact same action shot. And when you have some of these people kind of doing the same things and you can keep it fresh,
Yeah,
there's points for that. So
for sure, I agree. And again, we, on average, it's a very consistent book the way it's drawn.
yeah. So what did the chat think? I know we had JLA.
I saw Bobby saying Avengers. Let's see. I like the JLA colors. Avengers. So JLA 100%. So there's Matt saying JLA. So we got Matt and Bobby splitting the vote right now, I think.
Okay. Yeah, because Bobby's going Avengers.
Yeah,
and you're going Avengers, and I'm going JLA, so it's still tied.
It's totally split right down the middle.
All right, come on, Alan, pick one. JLA constantly being consistent with its art. And, Avengers, we can kind of say that now, too, since they switched over. Don Heck has been very consistent.
He's been very strong, for sure. Absolutely. He's going Avengers, breaking the tie.
Okay. Sounds good. You crazy
fair,
people.
Alan. That's fair.
Okay, moving on. Who is the MVP?
I'll tell you, I had a hard time with the JLA book. I don't know about you.
For JLA, I said I don't want to do a combination of people, but it's like the Green Lantern Martian Manhunter combination because of coming up with that way they actually gave her what she wanted and fulfilled what they needed, but they made it so she couldn't access it.
Right.
And that's a combination of two people's idea. I'm definitely not giving it to Superman, Aquaman, or Batman. That's for sure. They were in 2 panels. So.
Yeah. I mean, I was on the Martian Manhunter side for this one, so maybe that's the deciding aspect. Okay. I do think he overcomes a lot more in his battles with fire than the other guys.
He's doing it alone.
And he's doing it alone. It's hard to know if he came up with the idea at the end to stop her, or if I saw that, yeah, or if it was Green Lantern's idea. The Manhunter explains it by saying, we took the vials to Queen Zazala, coated the vials with an invisible, impenetrable aura from his power ring after I had used super pressure to weld the metal stoppers to the vials. He doesn't explain whose idea it was, but this is what they did, the 2 of them. So I lean towards
he had the other solo adventures, including, remember when I remarked about this? Maybe I should have said this during story, but I didn't know that he could clone someone else's powers, like Elongated Man. I don't remember that.
And I don't know that I've ever seen him use it before or after.
Yeah.
So that's something novel for certain.
So for the DC side, we'll do Martian Manhunter then. Is that cool?
I like that.
Okay. Who are we going to do for the Marvel side?
I went round and round, and for me, it came down to 2 people, but I'm going to go with Scarlet Witch. Firstly, I think she's the one who is expressing the correct emotion about Cap being gone and realizes that they need him back. She's also the one that sets them free after they get captured. And at the end, she is still on her feet, standing up to Kang and shouting him down along with Hawkeye. I considered Captain America for a while. He does seem to have a very starring role in this, but in the end, he gets captured and she's still free. So that was the deciding vote for me. But it was Cap and Scarlet Witch in my eye.
For me, it was always Scarlet Witch, partially because I didn't like that comment about her being one of the weakest Avengers. I thought, please.
Yeah.
So
then let's go Scarlet Witch.
Okay, so now, chat, your choice is Martian Manhunter or Scarlet Witch. Now we need
who is the
choice.
Bigger MVP
out of those 2. Yeah.
Yeah. I pick Scarlet Witch, and the main reason I do is she's still standing at the end, and she is the one to rescue the rest of the team when they're captured in those jars, even though it almost puts her down.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna go with Wanda over Manhunter, but neither one of them is like completely doing this on their own, because that's the benefit of a team book, is they have to work together. So there is a lot of teamwork happening. But yeah, I'm with Matt. I'm gonna go with Wanda.
I mean, I see all those points that you're making, and I'm trying to come up with the flip side of that. Why would it be Martian Manhunter? And I'm having a harder time doing that. So maybe the answer just is that it's Wanda. I mean, I'm good with that.
I don't know that Wanda's ever had a victory in this category.
I'm going to look here in a second. So Scarlet Witch, let's see.
Although I don't think Martian Manhunter has either. So
well, let's look. Martian Manhunter had a win in issue 3, issue 6.
He did it twice.
Yep. Wow. And
Alan's going Manhunter.
That's it. And Scarlet Witch has never even had a nomination.
Wow.
So I think it's Scarlet Witch. Right?
I think so. I think we're in agreement, and we won Matt over. Okay, Scarlet Witch. Even Alan quit on it. He's like, I'll give it.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And the winner is. So with everything that we've shared with you tonight, in all of the different categories, who had the better issue number 23? If you were going to pick up, if you had both of these comic books laying on your coffee table or wherever, and you said, I got time to read one of them, which one are you picking?
So vote in the chat. Yes. You guys are the complete arbiters of success here.
This is for the whole enchilada.
Yeah. You pick which is the book you would want to read again, which is the book that you feel like you would go back to and enjoy, not the one that's the most valuable, right, for your, but the one that you think is just the better comic book. Do you feel like you have an answer to this one?
I think I do, and I think it's Justice League. I know that Justice and you're picking Avengers. Right? Yeah. For me, it was the Justice League because there were some things that could have been better in this story. Same with Avengers. But for the Avengers, I'm like, why do we need to have a second part to this story? I mean, it better pick up the pace. And I haven't read it, so I don't know.
I haven't read it either. I've never read any of these. So yeah, the stretch that we're in now, I have not read any of them. Yeah, where with Justice League, I'm like, you created an interesting villain for me. Right. It all wraps up in one story. It just, I think that's the one I would just pick up and enjoy more. Sure. And I will say I enjoy the Queen Zazala more than Ravonna. But that didn't play as big a factor for my enjoyment in rereading, I think, as the art and the story did for me. So that's why I'm going with the Avengers book. Okay. I'm all alone in my little Justice League side. Yeah. That's okay. I got Bobby and Alan. Yeah. So we got two Avengers boats. Where's my Seeking Superman when I need him? Tony fell asleep. You know, it's late for Tony. Wolfie. It's 10:30 already for Tony. It is. So Matt says, I was leaning JLA and considering the story and art was so close, but if we count the MVP as an equal weight, it might be Avengers. Okay. It sounds like he is still waffling. No, I think he's going. It might be Avengers. No, even if it is, I still think Avengers wins with all the other votes. So it would, yeah. Without another vote for JLA. Yeah. So that's cool. I just hope the next issue is worth. I hope all of this was building to make the next issue really, really good. I will say I did dive into the next issue just a little bit to see, and it's a full Kang story. It's not like it's split where halfway through they jump to the next plot line. The whole issue is the second half of this. So hopefully it's a whole piece that's worth making it a two-parter.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. John, what is going on with your channel and upcoming appearances?
I have a video dropping tomorrow, which highlights my favorite books from New Comic Book Days for 2026 so far. So I run through the favorite series that I've got that I've been reading here in 2026. So you can check that out if you're a New Comic Book Day kind of fanboy or girl, and you want to check in on what's good at the comic book shop. I run through a few of my favorites. I should be going live Friday night to do another Dungeon Crawler Korll breakdown. We're doing the 4th book in that 8-book series. Should be Daymares and Bearded Comic Bro and Paul, Big O, and JP. So there should be a whole fat panel of us talking it up. And then depending on how tired and how late we stay up, I might do my Saturday morning show. If not, I am off next week. I finally get a week off. I haven't had one in a little bit of a while here, and I'm looking forward to making a bunch of videos. I got a few things in the works, including something just for Ryan.
Oh my gosh.
He really wants to hear my thoughts on X-Men Elsewhen, the John Byrne hardcover volume 1 that just dropped this week. I don't own it. I do need to find a way to kind of check it out when I go to my LCS so that I can give you some thoughts on it and why I don't own it.
And why you may not be able to, because I hear it selling very well.
It is. I heard that from a very reputable source.
Yes. So
what about you?
My source. My source.
What are you up to?
Okay.
Your source?
It's a lot of Supergirl going on right now with me and my channel.
It is.
First of all, this past weekend, I had Lady Fantastic on. We did Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow Part 1, the first 4 issues. Then I did a Supergirl back issue of the week. I did a Lassoed Loot video, which is all comic book upgrades, which includes some Supergirl in there. On my Instagram, I'm doing 7 Supergirl covers. Tomorrow, I'm going to the movies to see Supergirl.
Can we expect a Supergirl review video?
No. But you could probably hear some non-spoiler thoughts on Fanboys Live in the Retro Review this Sunday, which is part 2 of Woman of Tomorrow. So we'll do 5, 6, 7, 8. Lady Fantastic is coming back. Isn't she a Spitfire?
I adore her.
Yes, I do too. I'm so glad that she came on. She's been on the show before, but we were kind of doing like a Women's History Month salute stuff, and this is like the real show, so nice. She's fun. And what's this? What is this? You lucky ducky. I was trying to get an autographed copy and they kept selling out before I could get one. So that's coming up. And it's not all that early to start thinking about a Lassoed Loot volume 300. I'm 10 episodes away from a volume 300, and I probably should do something if I can pull off something extra special for that, don't you think?
If only somebody had mailed you something that you could set aside and open when that video came time to record. If only a box was en route across this fair nation, wending its way to you.
Yeah,
that would be perfectly timed, right? And if only it had maybe a one-of-a-kind
grand prize
piece of artwork that you won as a grand prize inside of it. I don't know. Too bad that's not happening.
Yeah. So we'll have to think of something for volume 300, even though it's a little bit off because I'm on 290 right now. So we'll see. But that is what is going on my channel. I did leave a link for John's Comics with Friends YouTube channel in the description for this video. I don't know why you wouldn't be subbed up already, but if you're not, make sure to do so, especially because if you enjoy the show, the next episode will be on his channel because we rotate through, and it will be issue 24. So on John's Comics with Friends channel, date TBA. Tonight, it is a win for Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers. So I thank you, my roll call in the live chat tonight, for being here. And we had fun. So
Definitely.
thank you, John, for getting to go back and experience these Silver Age books with me.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
It again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You've been watching JLA versus Avengers. Hope you have a happy, healthy, and successful rest of your week. I look forward to visiting with you on Fanboys Live in the Retro Review this weekend. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. And hope you have a great night. Everybody, say goodbye. Bye.